Hi everyone, I'm Kaiden Leopard and today I'll be making a video on Leopard Gecko and their basic care requirement, so stick around to find out more. Leopard Gecko is a species of gecko that is commonly bred and kept among reptile hobbyists because they are very docile and they are relatively small in size, measuring only between 7 to 10 inches long and could weigh between 45 to 100 grams. Leopard gecko makes an excellent beginner reptile pet as they come in tons of wonderful morphs. Morphs are basically what you use to describe their body patterns and also color variation. As you can see here, this is my adult male leopard gecko, and his morph is what you call and describe as Sanglo tramper. It is one of the popular line-bred morphs. In the wild, leopard gecko can be found in the region of Afghanistan, India, Pakistan, Iraq, and Iran. Their living habitat consists of rocky mountains and shrub grassland. They are terrestrial, meaning ground dwellers, so they spend most of the time on the ground, under rocks, and in burrows. Uniquely about leopard gecko is that they have movable eyelids, which most of the other gecko species do not have, and leopard gecko do not climb on trees or on walls as they do not have sticky toe pads. Leopard gecko are crepuscular, which means they are more active during the night than during the day and most active during dawn and dusk. When it comes to handling your leopard gecko, my advice is to never spook them. Approach gently and let your leopard gecko be aware and know that you want to approach them. I bond with my leopard gecko by making a certain sound to let them know of my presence before I even handle them or taking them out from their terrarium. The sound that I make goes like this. Never force or squeeze your leopard gecko during handling, and most certainly never grab them by their tail, as it could detach or break off when feeling threatened or stressed as their defense mechanism. If the tail is broken off, it will usually regenerate but may not look the same, and because leopard geckos store nutrients and fats in their tail, so if the tail ever broken off, you must provide them with intense, tender, loving care for them to regain back the loss of nutrients and fat. In today's video, I'll be sharing some simple care guide on keeping leopard gecko as your first beginner reptile pet. So before I talk further on today's topic, I would like to emphasize that before you decided to buy and adopt and bring home your leopard gecko or any sort of pet, please, I do encourage do some research first. There are many pet care videos and information available online for you to do your research. There are also forums for you to read through. And in fact, I do suggest join some Facebook group and community so that you can get advice and talk with the experts and who has more experience in taking care of the particular pets that you're looking for. I am just one source for you to use as a reference. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing just basic information and care guide on leopard gecko that I personally have been following, and it works for me and to all my leopard gecko. And of course guys, different source that you go to may provide different methods and information, so it is best to get as much information that you need before even buying your first leopard gecko. So let's talk about our first point. Before getting your leopard gecko, I do recommend that you get a suitable size enclosure and decoration for the tank setup. There are many commercial and customized terrarium available for housing your leopard gecko. The size of the tank setup do depends on the size of the leopard gecko that you are planning to get. Here I have a commercial terrarium by Exoterra, and it is a decent size to accommodate juvenile and young adult leopard gecko. Being a ground dweller, leopard gecko prefers a more horizontal and wider terrarium instead of a vertically enclosure. However, As they grow older in years to come, a healthy and happy leopard gecko can live up to 15 to 20 years, so it is best to upgrade into a bigger enclosure. So, a 20 gallons enclosure is suitable for one adult leopard gecko. More space to move around, the better. As for decoration, it is important to provide them with shelters to hide in. Putting at least 2 to 3 hides in the terrarium is highly recommended, having one hide on the warm side and one hide on the cooler side. Another aspect of decoration is to add a moist hide or humidity box in the terrarium. Not to forget also to include a reptile food and water dish. Leopard gecko need a steady supply of clean water, despite you may hardly see them drinking. It is best to change their water daily. In my case, I change all my leopard gecko water every 2 days. Next, our second point is to provide and maintain a suitable temperature and humidity in your leopard gecko enclosure. An optimal temperature for the leopard gecko in the hotspot will be between 83 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is roughly between 28 to 32 degrees Celsius. Leopard gecko absorb heat from underneath their belly to help them to digest food, so they do not require any UVB lighting or even a heat lamp, as they are not basking reptile. So, to create a hotspot, you need to place an under-tank heating mat at the bottom of your enclosure. I do recommend that you get a thermostat to monitor and control the heat that's coming from your heating pad, as you want to avoid any risk of burn injuries to your leopard gecko. When it comes to lighting, leopard gecko prefer a clear day and night cycle, which means you could provide them with some LED lighting during the day or indirect natural lighting from your window and switching the light off during the night. Leopard gecko requires a humidity between 40 to 60% for proper shading, which is why having a moist hide or humidity box is important in your leopard gecko enclosure at the cooler spot. High level of humidity in the moist hide can keep your leopard gecko shedding skin soft and easily to peel. As for in my case, I'm living in a tropical climate country, so the temperature all year round is suitable for keeping leopard gecko, which is why I do not use any heating pad, under tank heating pad for my leopard gecko enclosure. However, I do spray with water in the moist hide box every 2 to 3 days. My third point on leopard gecko care guide will be choosing the right substrate for your enclosure. So I strongly emphasize not to use any fine sand or small gravel, as your leopard gecko could ingest it and cause infection, which could lead to death. I personally prefer to use non-loose substrate, as it is easy to maintain. There are many options for non-loose substrate, such as reptile carpet, newspaper, paper towel, and tiles. Finally, my fourth point on care guide for leopard gecko would be their food and supplementation. Leopard gecko are insectivores, so they only mainly eat insects. I feed my leopard geckos cricket, mealworm, and dubia roaches. Only feed your leopard gecko with insects or feeder insects that has been gut loaded. Hatchling leopard gecko should be fed every day between 3 to 5 crickets, while juvenile to an adult leopard gecko can be fed every other day, roughly between 5 to 6 crickets. It is best to dust your feeder insects with some calcium powder before you feed it to your leopard gecko. If you decide to feed your leopard gecko with mealworms, you can place the mealworm into a reptile bowl or food dish and sprinkle some calcium powder. Supplementation is important for your leopard gecko, so it is best to place a small dish containing calcium powder and vitamin D3 in your leopard gecko enclosure. Leopard gecko will lick the calcium powder as it is essential for them to build strong bones to avoid any metabolic bone disease. So guys, that is some of the points on Leopard Gecko Care Guide. I do suggest that you get more research done before even getting your Leopard Gecko. I'm just sharing with you guys based on what I have learned and through my experience. So I hope this video could help and provide some input for you guys out there who's thinking of getting a Leopard Gecko as a pet and make it into a hobby. So guys, if you like this video and the information that I have provided, so click the like button, subscribe to my channel for more Leopard Gecko and other pet care videos. I would love to read some of your comments as well, so stay tuned to my channel. I'm Kaiden Leopard, signing off for now. Bye!